Religious philosophers observe that humans tend to act in ineffective ways, and in their efforts to modify the natural course of things, they only make everything worse. All struggles, methods, moral standards, values are clearly created for the benefit of humans. But according to the wise philosophers of religion, we should let go of all of them. Why is that? Because the ideas humans put forth only distance us further from the natural flow of life. Trying to change what nature has already determined is like swimming against the current, and aside from exhausting us, it doesn't get us anywhere. So this video discusses not trying to change the world, to get the world. Steve Jobs once said a classic quote, "The most important decisions you make aren't the things you do, but the things you decide not to do." Interpreting Steve Jobs' statement, this is a profound reminder of the importance of choices in life. Firstly, we should understand that everyone's life is filled with opportunities, choices, and decisions. Steve Jobs emphasizes that the most important decisions are not about what you do, but about what you decide not to do. This is an essential piece of advice that addresses the ability to make choices and prioritize in human life. In today's society, we are often caught up in countless choices and unnecessary tasks. If we don't know how to carefully consider them, the consequence is that we easily fall into a distracted state, leading to a waste of time and effort on unimportant choices for our lives. Summing up Steve Jobs' words, knowing how to reject unnecessary tasks is an important part of building a meaningful life, helping us make progress on the path towards our goals and dreams. Steve Jobs is a prime example of someone who knew how to choose important tasks and not engage in unnecessary ones. He invested his time and focus on developing his products and company, rather than getting distracted by unrelated projects. The result was groundbreaking products and a far-reaching influence beyond boundaries. In summary, Steve Jobs' statement emphasizes that in life, the decision not to do unimportant things is as important as the decision to do important ones. This requires awareness, self-awareness, and the ability to determine priorities. Making the right choices can help us focus on significant goals and make a difference in life. Furthermore, Steve Jobs' statement also embodies the profound philosophy known as Wu Wei, the concept of the philosopher Lao Tzu. In the history of Chinese philosophy, Lao Tzu's philosophy is a unique and enduring system that has left behind significant values. His thoughts on the origin and nature of the world, on humanity, and the way of being human are all expressed uniquely through fundamental concepts such as the Tao, virtue, and non-action. Lao Tzu said, "Non-action is the greatest action." This is the ultimate point Lao Tzu wants to convey in his entire work. Here, Lao Tzu does not mean that non-action is just non-action. He explicitly states that non-action is still action, and it is acting in harmony with nature, as only by following the laws of nature can activities be effective. In the Tao Te Ching, non-action is the greatest action, is the most profound and elusive idea throughout the text. Until now, it has been commonly believed that Lao Tzu only values non-action and opposes action. In reality, this is not entirely accurate. Lao Tzu does not entirely reject action. He simply says, action alone is not enough to rule the world. To put it simply, if you are at ease doing nothing, then you should not do anything. The natural world operates in its own cycles, and if we interfere with any element, it disrupts the natural order. If we do nothing, it means we are ensuring that the cycle continues to function normally. This theory is particularly effective when we are unsure how to approach a situation. According to Lao Tzu, it's often best to do nothing at all. However, non-action does not mean giving up everything. Non-action here is not the type of negative behavior of doing nothing at all, but rather a way of living that brings more benefits than doing. By stopping the urge to act, we can escape from turmoil and discover new ways for ourselves, seeking new value in simplicity, lightness, and harnessing the inherent life force. In life, we often emphasize the role of doing something while overlooking the benefits of not doing. Typically, humans tend to believe that doing something, taking action, is better for oneself. But in reality, we can also minimize undesirable outcomes by non-action. Many people do not like non-action because they often think that one must do something to be proactive. Non-action is sometimes labeled as negative. At times, we fear that others may perceive us as negative or not progressing, so we suppress the thought of not wanting to do anything deep within ourselves. In reality, doing but disorderly often has a much greater impact than non-action. Non-action is a form of wisdom. Why do I assert this? To find the answer, we need to explore further the theory of non-action by Lao Tzu through the following example. When we witness a scene where a tiger is about to attack a deer, if we shoot the tiger to save the deer, we may unintentionally harm the tiger cubs waiting for their mother's meal. But if we help the tiger catch the deer more easily, we may also wrong the deer. Letting events unfold naturally is the only true path. This theory is genuinely effective in explaining why it is necessary to preserve nature. And the most effective conservation method is to do nothing, allowing nature to take its course. Why is this so? Because all the ideals created by humans only distance us further from the natural flow of life. It's essential to understand that most problems arise from our actions, which lead to complications and unpredictability in life. Human nature is inherently active and impulsive, tending to embrace things that bring pleasure and distraction. However, most of the time we can't persist. If one chooses not to overthink, they will avoid getting trapped in issues, thereby reducing anxiety, restlessness, and insecurity. If one can control their emotional impulses and refrain from exploring unnecessary complexities, they will steer clear of the troubles stemming from complicated emotions and enigmatic human nature. If one is cautious in their choices and refrains from engaging in high-risk activities, they will avoid foolish mistakes. Remember that human energy is limited and focusing it is a challenge. Concentrating on one thing means losing focus on something else. Especially in the age of information overload and excess, it's challenging to select and concentrate on one thing, leading to a loss of rationality and clarity. Therefore, when Lao Tzu speaks of humans not doing anything, it's because not doing anything isn't easy, requiring advanced mental activity. Non-action is more challenging than action. In most situations, we often cannot control the inner enthusiasm for wanting to think this or do that, but we often forget to ask ourselves, why do I need to do this? And why not do this? Non-action doesn't mean doing nothing. It means allowing events to unfold naturally in harmony with the Tao. Thus, it involves doing what is necessary but without excessive zeal and blind action. It's a state of inner silence where the right action can arise without the effort of will. In primitive Buddhism, only nirvana is classified as non-action. All other phenomena involve action. In addition to non-action, Buddhism also talks about non-action but still action, a phrase often used in Zen to denote actions that are without intention, leaving no trace in the mind of the doer. This is what non-action and yet action truly means. Actually, the noun non-action doesn't exist in Buddhism. Zen masters were influenced by the Tao Te Ching's philosophy and borrowed the term non-action from Laozi to express their ideas. However, non-action in Buddhism, though derived from Laozi, has developed a different philosophy from Laozi's non-action. Moreover, the philosophy of doing nothing also exists in another philosophical school in Greece, Stoicism. Stoic philosophers advise that their scholars should not focus too much on things they cannot control, which are external factors, things that come from nature, from the surrounding objects and events. Instead, humans should concentrate on self-improvement, which includes thoughts and actions originating from their own selves. In summary, the philosophy of non-action implies going with the flow of nature and not relying on outcomes. Because no one can rush or slow down nature, nature is instinctual, with birth, death, and constant change over time. Those who live non-action understand this truth and focus on completing their tasks, then stand aside and adapt to circumstances. People who embrace non-action think, speak, and act according to their hearts and rational guidance, but they do not expect results. They shine like the sun, which radiates light without expecting gratitude from anyone. Those who turn their backs on the sun, run from the sun, or reach out to embrace its light, the sun remains indifferent. It continues to shine according to its nature and value. Furthermore, those who hold the philosophy of non-action possess another noble trait. They do not like to boast and do not seek recognition from others. For these individuals, they quietly and calmly work on tasks, whether small or large, without carrying the desire to prove themselves to others. Instead, they live and work calmly and steadily, savoring all the wonderful experiences that nature and life bring, appreciating and embracing simple joys. For them, happiness is both a journey and a destination they aim to reach. So, how do you feel about this philosophy of non-action, especially as you grow older and face various fears, including the fear of responsibilities and obligatory tasks in life? Reflect on what we have shared in this video to find answers for yourself. If you found the content we shared to be helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to continue the journey with us in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching our video, and we look forward to meeting you in future videos.